President Kimball was there on the dam right before you, and yet he lives. How did you fuck this up? That's right. Under normal circumstances, the reason it wouldn't happen again is that you'd be crucified, or worse. Only in light of the extraordinary service you've rendered unto me am I going to overlook this failure. Bear in mind how much you have to make up for, how much you have to prove yourself in your next task. My forces are in a position to assault the dam. Legatus Linnaeus has assumed command. Are you ready to go to him? To tell him to begin the assault? Good. In hoc signo torus vinces. Report to Legatus Linnaeus immediately. He'll brief you on the plan of battle. Come back victorious, or don't come back.
Aw. Hey!
There you are.
Legatus, a stranger arrives. Fool!
Finally,
You like that?
Mars has accepted my sacrifice.
I'm gonna need some
You like that?
You are the courier Lord Caesar has spoken of. The slaughter begins then. As was I, yet I was ordered to await you. Now that you are here, we may act. When the battle begins, the NCR will find our teeth at their throats in a dozen places.
Come on!
Ah, the outsider who gained our master's favor. You prove yourself as cunning as the rumors report. My men await in the tunnel below. I'm to divide them between the dam top and the tunnels that lead to the western power plant. Your words have merit. Very well. I shall tell my men to concentrate their efforts here. More than a few if I have my way. Another kill
I'm glad that's over. Teach you to mess with me. Help me out! Over here! Well, that's the end of that. Well, that's the end of that. I'm glad. Help me out! Well, that's the end of that.
So you must be the courier the reports mentioned. Pass this message on to your commander. Hoover Dam will not fall while I still draw breath. The army of bloodthirsty maniacs with you would disagree. No, I think I'll hold the fort here until our reinforcements arrive. Do you really think your ragtag band of slavers has more manpower than the armed forces of the NCR? If that's true, then there's nothing else for it. My men and I will hold out as long as we can. And go where? According to you, the road west is blocked. Perhaps I do have a secret tunnel out of here, but that doesn't change anything. My duty is to stay and fight. It will see that our orders are carried through to the end. That's what good soldiers do. You're right. These men have placed their lives in my hands, and I won't throw them away for a lost cause. Don't expect to hold this place for very long, however. The NCR will be back.
Uh-oh.
I'll find it.
Might as well be throwing rocks.
Judging by the lack of blood, I take it the coward Oliver fled rather than face me. No matter. The rest of the dam is fully under our control. A few pitiful holdouts remain, but their time is short. The general was the last source of concern. With their commander gone, the NCR will pull out of this region, allowing our conquest to continue westward unopposed for a time. The Legion will swell with the number of slaves we will claim from this place, and the tribute we gather will fund further campaigns. Perhaps in time I will be granted the honor of conquering the land known as California. But for now we rest. Know that your efforts are appreciated and will not go unrewarded, but we can speak of that later. For now, come. We must see to the burning of the dead.
And so the courier who had cheated death in the cemetery outside Good Springs cheated death once again, and the Mojave wasteland was forever changed. The legate is crowned as the new Caesar. He entered the Strip as though it was a military target, destroying anyone who resisted him. The Legion brutally occupied all major locations, killing and enslaving a large amount of the population. Under the Legion's banner, civilization, savage as it was, finally came to the Mojave wasteland. The Legion marched over the Hoover Dam with the help of one who was as brutal and merciless as the worst of them, the courier. Caesar honored him with a golden coin, minted in celebration of his contributions and distributed throughout the wasteland.
The Omertas were successfully eliminated as a threat to Vegas. When the Legion launched their second assault on the dam, they found themselves in no position to go on with the planned coup. The surviving Omertas met a brutal fate when the Legion rolled through the Strip, their last thoughts filled with a fierce hatred for civilization.
When the Legion raided the Strip, the chairmen were the only group who tried to resist. Their severed heads now line freeside.
Without organized leadership, the remaining boomers slowly drifted away, leaving Nellis Air Force Base to be flooded by prospectors and scavengers. All of the boomers' accumulated knowledge quickly scattered, and their existence slowly faded from memory.
During the fight for Hoover Dam, the Brotherhood took Helios 1, inflicting heavy damage on retreating NCR forces. But it was a Pyrrhic victory. Once the Strip was secured, Caesar's forces overwhelmed and eventually routed the Brotherhood from Helios 1 and Hidden Valley.
The Fiends attacked Camp McCarran during the Second Battle of Hoover Dam and suffered heavy losses. Caesar, unimpressed with their performance and their dependence on chems, had them exterminated.
After the Legion's victory, the new Caesar learned the followers had defamed the original Caesar's noble origins. The followers of the Apocalypse were hunted down and exterminated, An old Mormon fort was turned into a pile of rubble.
Though Arcade was crushed by the Legion's victory at Hoover Dam, he was not among NCR's casualties. During the NCR's retreat from the Mojave wasteland, he helped defend NCR citizens and refugees on their way to Mojave Outpost. Unfortunately, NCR Rangers identified his father's armor as Enclave property. He was arrested, tried as a war criminal, and imprisoned indefinitely.
The Legion, preoccupied with its acquisition of New Vegas, scarcely took notice of the town of Goodsprings. Many locals moved on, fearful of Caesar's long shadow. Only the old and the stubborn remained.
Rose of Sharon Cassidy died as her caravan died. In an unmarked grave, another victim of the Mojave.
During the Battle of Hoover Dam, the Great Khans quickly evacuated Red Rock Canyon and headed north and east into the plains of Wyoming. There, they reconnected with the followers of the Apocalypse and rebuilt their strength. Bolstered by ancient knowledge of governance, economics, and transportation, they carved a mighty empire out of the ruins of the Northwest.
Thanks to the Courier and Lily, a cure for the Nightkin's schizophrenia was found shortly after Dr. Henry's experiment concluded. Nightkin and other super mutants in the wasteland flocked to Jacobstown, and the town became known as a haven where a mutant could find peace.
Lily continued to take her medicine at half doses, and although she remembered her grandchildren, her mind remained muddled and confused. Eventually, she parted ways with the Courier and traveled west, seeking the remnants of her past.
After their victory at Hoover Dam, the Legion quickly set about destroying all remaining resistance, including any groups with ties to the NCR. Upon discovering the King's newfound relationship with the NCR, Legionnaires flooded the streets of Freeside, and the Kings were quickly destroyed.
Most powder gangers at the correctional facility fled into the wasteland rather than face the advancing forces of the Legion. Those brave or foolish to remain were killed or crucified by the merciless legionaries.
Armed with a wide array of improvised explosives and stolen weapons, the Vault 19 powder gang tormented the Mojave wasteland for years. Citizens of the NCR were favorite targets, and they always suffered the worst fates.
After their bold arrival at Hoover Dam, the remnants disappeared as quickly as they came. Legends of their power spread throughout the Southwest, a reminder of why people once feared the sight of vertibirds in the sky.
And so the Courier's road came to an end, for now. In the new world of the Mojave wasteland, fighting continued, blood was spilled, and many lived and died just as they had in the old world. Because war never changes.